You're watching Arise, the world's standout news channel. Arise News, awards, and beyond.
Your Excellency, the Governor of Delta State, ably represented, the Honorable Minister for Regional Development, the Chairman, Governing Board, Nddc, the Managing Director and CEO, Nddc, other board members and state reps here represented, directors and top management officers of the Nddc. On behalf of the governing board, I welcome every one of us here, and indeed the Honorable Minister, to this epoch-making occasion. You all recall that sometimes ago, some years back, when the Sapele bridge, to be precise, impassable, everybody in the other part of Warri region decided to be taking Abraka and this reconstructed road, Oben, Abraka Oben road leading to Sakoba. I am trying to refresh our memories to letting you know how important this road is to Delta and indeed to Edo State people. We're indeed grateful to the Honorable Minister, who will transmit this gratitude to Mr. President, that the renewed hope agenda is indeed touching us gradually. I know that all the communities within and around Abraka and Edo State will be very glad now that the impassable road is now passable. I employ the management of Nddc to do same to the Umutu Ashaka Road, so that those of us who are going to Asaba, I know that we are kickstarting the phase 1 from Abraka to Agbo, but let me put it on record too, that from Umutu to Ashaka is impossible. I beg on behalf of Delta people that the board should not think that you are doing too much for Delta State. Delta State produces so much. We produce so much. So it is on their behalf that I'm pleading that from Umutu to Ashaka should be rehabilitated as well, so that going to Asaba or coming from Asaba to Abraka or areas around this area will not be so difficult again. I know that the Honorable Commissioner for Works, Delta State, is seated here representing the governor. Please, we are an intervention agency. We will try as much as possible to intervene, but I'm using this opportunity to call on you as you go back to Delta State. Please beg the governor to do something. He shouldn't leave everything for Nddc alone. It's on that note that I want to welcome all of us and thank the Managing Director and indeed the Nddc for this wonderful job that has been done today. You're all welcome.
Can we put our hands together for Right Honorable Monday Guya, member in Delta State on the Nddc Governing Board. May I also respectfully at this moment recognize the presence of the member representing Imo State on the 7th Governing Board of the Nddc, Kirian Uchegbu. I'd like to, at this moment, invite the Executive Director Projects, Nddc, Sir Victor Etimantai, for the project brief. May we put our hands, please? Thank you.
His Excellency, the Governor of Delta State, here ably represented by the Commissioner for Works and Highways and Urban Roads, Mr. Ruben Izeze. The Federal Minister for Regional Development, Engineer Abubakar Momo, the Chairman of the Governing Board of the Niger Delta Development Commission, Barrister Chiedu Ebie, the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the Nddc, the visionary, the driver of the new development in the Niger Delta region, Dr. Samuel Oboku, other board members of the board, which I am part of, the traditional rulers here present, community leaders, and clergies, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. It is my honor to welcome you all to the commissioning of the reconstructed Abraka Oben Road and the flag off of the rehabilitation works of failed portion of the Abraka Agbo Road Phase 1. These set of projects are critical infrastructure project that will greatly impact the lives of the citizens of Ethiopia East and Area 1 local government area of Delta and Edo State. 1. The commissioning of the reconstructed Abraka Oben Road in Ethiopia and Area 1 local governments of Delta and Edo States. This contract was awarded by the Nddc to AMU Global Ventures Limited in December 21st, 2023. The work scope included the reconstruction of 10 kilometers length of asphalt pavement, 9 meters carriage width with massive earth fillings, with 176 meters of trapezoidal drains. The economic benefits of this alignment. This is an interstate road linking Delta and Edo states. In our bid to reconstruct this road, it will enhance the restoration functionality and improved socioeconomic activities between Edo and Delta states. And also, there were incessant attacks by robbers in failed portions of this alignment. With this reconstruction, all these social vices have been completely eliminated. 2. The flag off of the rehabilitation of failed portions of Abraka Agbo Road Phase 1, Ethiopia local government area of Delta State. This contract was awarded to Webster Global Ventures in January 2025. And as of today, we are here to flag off that project, though work had already commenced, because of the very poor state of this particular alignment. And the scope of work will cover 7.2 kilometers of failed portions of this particular road alignment. The carriage width was extended from 7.8 meters to 10.3 meters. And of course, the ecological control on 3 major active erosion sites at the police station junction, Abraka, Obiaruku by the cattle market, and Amai junction had been fully remedied so far. And work is also ongoing on the alignment now to tackle the bad spots between Amai junction to the post office in Obiaruku. So today, after the commissioning of the phase 1 of the Abraka Oben Road, the federal minister will also carry out the flag off of the rehabilitation works on Abraka Road alignment. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please, let's put our hands together for the Executive Director Projects of the Nddc, Sir Victor Etim Atta. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, may I at this point invite to give his address one who is interested, and he is a crusader of the human and capital development of the Niger Delta region. He is one who has moved the Niger Delta Development Commission from transaction to transformation. Please, let's welcome the brand ambassador of the Niger Delta. He's none other than Chief Samuel Obuku, PhD, as Master Chief Executive Officer of the Niger Development Commission.
Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Delta State, ably represented by the Commissioner for Works and Highway, my good friend, Ruben Zeze. The Honorable Minister for Regional Development, our dependable minister, our working minister that is showing his effort across not only the Niger Delta, that Mr. President deemed it necessary to say, for the good works you have done, let me make you to cover all the regions in Nigeria. Honorable Engineer Abraka Momo, the governing board chairman of the Nddc, who has given us all the necessary direction we needed, giving us all the support we needed. We want to thank you for also giving birth to this project that we are about commissioning today, because you're from Delta State, and this is to show that you've represented the people of Delta State very well in the governing board of the Nddc. Other members of the governing board of the Nddc, special recognition to the Delta State Rep, the former Speaker of Delta State, Right Honorable Monday Ibuya. I want to welcome all the traditional rulers, women and youth, staff of NDDC to this commissioning ceremony. First thing first, we have to thank God for today, for this beautiful weather, and also thank Mr. President for giving us this opportunity to showcase what we can do. Mr. President was able to put together the present board and management of the NDDC, charging us to dare the impossibility, because under the renewed hope agenda, it is hope assured based on the effort we are putting in to transform the Niger Delta. People never believed that in the past, NDDC could undertake such projects, start and finish them. But with today's ceremony, it is a fact that NDDC is truly working under the present administration and guidance of Mr. President. Mr. President has charged us as a board and management to ensure that we improve on infrastructures of the Niger Delta. Hence, we go about looking for projects that will add value to the people of the Niger Delta. Before reconstructing this road, we have also intervened in the east-west road, areas that were failed last year that became unpassable. During the peak of the rainy season, the east-west road, especially the outer aspect of it, was impassable. The NDDC was able to intervene, and it also reduced the sufferings of our people. We have to do all this to complement the effort of the Ministry of Works, because we all serve the same government, and we are all working towards ensuring that the renewed hope is real. Thereafter, we have also intervened on the Warri Sapele aspect of the east-west road, where was not passable at the time, though Ministry of Works is working on that alignment, but we have to intervene on those areas that are bad so that it can also ease the suffering of the people. The other aspect we are going to intervene is Sapele to Benin, which will soon commence work on that alignment too. We have also intervened on the road Auchi to Benin alignment, though we had to take Auchi to Irua. That road was not passable for over 5 years, but today motorists can now pass that road. NDDC have also intervened on that section. Then from Irua, Ekpoma down to Benin, that aspect is being taken care of Ministry of Works. Today, we're not just only looking at intervening in roads and communities, building classroom blocks, building hospitals. We are also trying to confront critical infrastructures like highway, because we realize that as a commission, if we don't embark on these projects, it is also going to increase the sufferings of our people. For example, all the vegetables we consume in the Niger Delta, most of them come from the north. And these are the axes they will use to penetrate the Niger Delta. But when these roads were bad, some of these vegetables, some of these goods, yam, even the cows, some of them, they even perished along the road. Then the few that survived down to the final point, to maybe Port Harcourt, Bayelsa, Warri, the price now becomes very expensive. The bad road actually increased the cost of goods and services in our region. So we're intervening in this project to also reduce the sufferings of our people. While we're also intervening in projects in the communities, let us also intervene in those projects that also reduce the cost of living in those communities, because they are all complementary. In all we do is to complement the effort of the Ministry of Works, also to complement the effort of the state government. We know the state governors are also doing their bit. Most of them are doing very well. All what we do, we are not in competition with the state governments. We are only complementing whatever the state governments are doing, because we play a complementary role as an interventionist agency. So we are looking forward towards partnering with state governments to embark on big projects that will impact on the lives of the people of the Niger Delta. And that is what the Renewed Hope agenda is all about. However, on this project that we're commissioning today, the Executive Director of Project has already given you details of the project, but it is good for you to know that before we reconstructed this road, the width of this road was 5.5 meters. But today, with the new reconstruction, we have expanded it to 8.5 meters, which is an improvement of what was in existence, because we know it is a highway road that links Edo State and Delta State. It is a shorter bypass to connect this part of Delta State and Edo State. This road to Benin is about 35 minutes. But if you want to come from Benin through Warri, it becomes longer. So here is about 35, 40 minutes. So that is why we have to intervene on this road. Most of us have actually passed through this road to Abuja in the past. Now, the Abraka to Agbo session that we're also going to flag off today is also very, very important, because we are not only flagging off the Abraka to Agbo, we are also going to continue from Agbo to Uromi, because the importance of this stretch is that once you connect here to Agbo, you connect this junction Abraka to Benin. It is like a conference center. Now, from here to Agbo, and from Agbo to Uromi. From Uromi, we now connect to the reconstructed area which we did from Auchi to Irua. That takes you immediately into Kogi State, where you can get to Abuja easily. So we are creating all these joints, linking all these roads, just to ensure that at least our people, they feel the dividends of development, and to prove to them that the Renewed Hope agenda is real. Honorable Minister, I want to thank you for all the guidance you've given to us as charged by Mr. President. All your supervision is not in vain. The constant calls you normally call us, the charge you give to us, telling us what to do, the directions you've given to us, we follow those directions. We want to thank you. The people of the Niger Delta will not thank you enough. We know that, yes, before we could monopolize you as Ministry of Niger Delta. Now, we have now given you to Nigeria to handle other regions, not only the Niger Delta. Just the way you've guided us in the Niger Delta, we know it's the same way you're also going to guide other regional agencies that are coming up. Honorable Minister, sir, the Nddc today, the reason why we are achieving all this is not only because Mr. President picked the best. It is also because the team Mr. President picked to serve him in the Niger Delta is a team that have devoted itself to work in unity and to ensure that our unity is watertight, that no distraction from anybody, that even all those political motivated distractions have rather brought us together to challenge us to work harder for the people of the Niger Delta. We are determined and we have committed ourselves to do better than is being expected. I want to assure you that we will not fail Mr. President, we will not fail you. We are going to ensure that Mr. President, his first tenure will end as having produced the best team of Nddc in the history of Nddc. From the 2024 budget that has been given to us, which we are going to start implementation, the projects that we are going to embark on has been charged by Mr. President to complete abandoned projects. Those projects will be commissioned within the period of Mr. President's first tenure, and we will be inviting Mr. President to commission projects that have never been commissioned in the Niger Delta before, because he deserves it, because that is his vision, that is his dream. Because I could remember my first meeting with Mr. President actually charged. He was very, very angry at the level of underdevelopment in the Niger Delta, and also complained about the funds that have been expended in the Niger Delta, which he feels is not really showing. But we are committed to making Mr. President proud, to make him know that that charge is really working, so that when we finish, those that will come behind us will also continue from the feet and that we'll be leaving behind. So I want to thank you and thank all of you for all the support you've given to us. All our stakeholders from the National Assembly, especially the Senate President, giving us that fatherly guidance. Through his support, we have never had any issue with the National Assembly. Through his support, all what we have asked for was given to us from the National Assembly. There is no crisis between the Nddc and even the committees at the National Assembly. Thanks to the leadership of the National Assembly, thanks to our brother and our sister who are the head of those committees as chairman. These are young people who are also determined to ensure that Nddc is working. These are young people who are determined to also ensure that they support the Nddc to make a difference. I really want to extend my thanks to them. As I was talking, I know that our lioness of this constituency, who happens to be my chairman of Nddc committee in the House of Reps, walked in. Let me specially recognize you, my chairman. At this point, I want to end my speech by saying thank you to the people of the Niger Delta, and I also use this opportunity to beg you, as we are committed to deliver more projects. Thank you very much.
That's the way you know if you walk, go better go follow you. That's the way you know if you walk, go better go follow you. Sawa look go better go follow you. That's the way you know if you walk, go better go follow you. Nddc better go follow you. That's the way you know if you walk, go better go follow you.
That was addressed by a man who is determined to transform the Niger Delta from transactions to transformation. Please, a resounding round of applause for the MDCO Nddc, Chief Samuel Obuku, PhD. Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, may I respectfully announce the presence of Honorable Iriatake Iborisuenu, Chairman House Committee on Nddc, and her entourage. Please, a resounding round of applause for her. Madam Chairman, we recognize you. Thank you. You're welcome, ma'am. Also, on the entourage of the Chairman House Committee on Nddc is Honorable Lekon Jakaru. Honorable, you are welcome. Please, a round of applause for him also. Thank you for being with us. Thank you. Thank you. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, at this point, may I respectfully bring the former secretary to the government of Delta State, former commissioner, higher education, Delta State, a barrister like no other, Mr. Chedu Ebie, chairman, governing board of Nddc. Please, a round of applause for the chairman as he comes for his remarks. A round of applause for him, please.
Your Excellency, the Governor of Delta State, very well represented by Comrade Ruben Izeze, the Honorable Minister, sir, the Chairman House Committee on Nddc, the daughter of the federal constituency where we are today, my sister, Right Honorable Abraka Iboriswenu, and her colleagues from the National Assembly, the Managing Director, Executive Directors, and my colleagues on the board of Nddc, our very well-respected chiefs, the representative of the Delta North Senator, the people of Abraka, and the people of Ethiopia Federal Constituency. Today is a good day because as a Deltan, we're proud that we are delivering the dividends of democracy to the people of Delta State. Nddc goes from state to state commissioning project. Since we assumed office, this is the first project, major project, that is being commissioned. Today, we're here because the management team are good at implementing the policies and the directives of the board. Mr. MD and the executive directors, let me say thank you. Thank you very much for always implementing our policies. You continue to do us proud, and you continue to ensure that we deliver in line with Mr. President and the Honorable Minister's directive. But today, I want us to celebrate our own, celebrate our daughter, celebrate our chairman, because this is her federal constituency. She chairs the House Committee on Nddc, and the benefit of having her there is that projects will be attracted to a federal constituency. This is one of such projects. So anybody that says that she's not doing well is not telling the truth. You continue to give her the support, you continue to work with her, and she will continue to represent you well. The road being commissioned today is very important. And we're also going to start the flag off of the Abraka Agbo Road, which is a very important artery. That road leads to the north. And so it's very important. We're glad that the work has started and that in no time we will complete that road. For those people who know Uromi Junction in Agbo, it is a constant nightmare. Trailers upon trailers are packed there for days on end. That way foodstuff cannot get to where they are. So we've come to the rescue because Mr. President has said we must do our work. We identify critical projects that impact the people. And so we'll continue to do it. I'm proud today because as a Deltan, we're here to represent our people well. Honorable Minister, sir, I welcome you. I welcome you to Delta State, and I welcome you to Ethiopia Federal Constituency. The Ethiopian people are proud people, they're industrious people, and they're good people. I would like to very specially invite my sister, Chairman House Committee on Nddc, the honorable member representing the Ethiopia Federal Constituency in the House of Representatives, Honorable Abraka Iboriswenu, very well accompanied by our Deputy Chairman of the House Committee on Nddc.
rubedo. Ejiro mama mi rubedo. Sola bruma mi rubedo. Mi rubedo. Okana mi rubedo.
Ichop wado. Ichop wado. Abraka wado. Agbo wado. Oge wado. Ijere wado. Osuga wado. Delta wado. Miemia wado. Wado. Your Excellency, the Governor of Delta State, ably represented here by my former colleague, Honorable Uzezi, the Honorable Minister, my dear brother, my Deputy Chairman, Honorable Jafar Oleko, the Chairman of the Nddc Board, the MD and other directors here present, my leaders, my mothers, my brothers, my sisters, I thank you. Honorable Minister, I'd like to welcome you specially on behalf of my people, the great people of the Ethiopia Federal Constituency. We welcome you. The Nddc Board, we welcome you. We welcome you to our place. We are very peace-loving people, and I'm sure you can tell from the crowd and the ambience you're receiving here today. But honestly, I am extremely grateful and thankful to God that I'm here to witness such a huge milestone for our people and for the people of Delta State. And I want to thank you, Chairman, MD, for giving our people life. Because with good roads and good infrastructure comes life and light. So I thank you. And I know my people are grateful. I mean, not they grateful. Not they grateful. We are grateful. Thank you so much. Thank you for everything you do for the people of the Niger Delta. Thank you for the things you do for everyone in this region. And I know, as a matter of fact, that since you came on board, the narrative of the region has changed completely. And I want to congratulate you for that. Because it's not just by saying it, it's by doing it by action, so that the people of Nigeria can see. I want to thank Mr. President for giving you the enablement to be able to do what you need to do for the people of your region. I want to continue to encourage you to continue to do more for us. And in particularly for my people, the people of Ethiopia Federal and Delta States at large. On behalf of myself, my committee members, and also my brother, the senator, my counterpart, Senator Ekpeyon, who couldn't make it today because his plane was delayed. We thank you for honoring the people of Ethiopia Federal. And I want to tell my people that there is more to come. I say more they come, oh. More they come, oh. More not they come. Because we there here. We there here. We there here to represent you now. Before we know, they go start the Ogara, Sapele Ogara road. And the Sapele Ogara Ologbo Benin road. And then this Abraka road too to Eku, they go Duamo. Not be so now want. Not be so now want. I be more thank them for us. Now thank person, they go do more. More now stand up, more now thank them, I beg. So they go do more for us. We are grateful. are grateful. God will bless you. God will bless Delta State. And God will bless the great people of Ethio Federal Constituency. Wado! Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Please, let's put our hands together for the Honorable Eriatake Ibori Swenu, the House Committee on NDDC, and also she was accompanied by Honorable Lekon Jakaru, Deputy Chairman of the House Committee on NDDC. Thank you so much. Like she said, the only way to ask for more is to say thank you. Thank you so much. May I at this point invite, as we get ready to hear a goodwill message to our host governor, please, if your hands are not too busy, put your hands together as we welcome on stage the representative of the executive governor of Delta State, His Excellency Right Honorable Sheriff Francis Oborevori, and is represented by none other than the Honorable Commissioner for Works, Highways, and Urban Roads, Ruben Uzezi. Please put your hands together for him.
Thank you very much, the band, for reminding us that Delta State is indeed a praying state, and the Delta is in the hands of no other but the Almighty God. The Honorable Minister of the Niger Delta and, of course, 5 other regions. Today, the nation is the Minister for Regional Development, Engineer Alhaji Abubakar Momo. Sorry, I did not avert my mind to the fact that the honorable member representing Ethiopia Federal Committee in the Representatives National Assembly, Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Honorable Eri Atake Ibori Suenu is present here. Please, I recognize you in line with the order of precedence. The Honorable Minister, the Chairman of the Governing Board of the Niger Delta Development Commission, erudite, barrister, fine boy, Chiedu Ebie, quality personnel, quality human being, quality politician, nurtured and groomed by the People's Democratic Party in Delta State. I recognize your presence. My former comrade, dear brother, present bourgeois, intellectual partner, and Managing Director of the Niger Delta Development Commission, Dr. PhD Sam Ogboku, another quality human being, quality public servant, groomed by the People's Democratic Party. The member representing Delta State on the board of the Niger Delta Development Commission, Speaker, the Right Honorable Monday Obigo Igbuya. Mr. Speaker, sir, another public servant, born, bred, nurtured by the People's Democratic Party of Delta State. Other members of the board, distinguished members of the Fourth Estate of the Realm, I also wish to recognize our traditional chiefs that are present. Ilogun. Let me recognize, I do not know in what capacity he is present here, but I do know that he's a prominent chief of the Warri Kingdom and a very successful businessman. He is the husband of the most vibrant female senator, the fearless senator who is not afraid of the Senate President. My dear brother, the Alema of Warri Kingdom, Emmanuel Orishet Jolomi Udwaha, I recognize your presence. Uroboado, Abraka Wado, Ethiopia Federal Constituency Wado, Nigeria Ado. I bring you warm greetings from His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Delta State, the Right Honorable Elder Sheriff Francis Orowedo Oborewori, the Omorutomo of Uroboland. He has asked me to first tender his unreserved apology for his inability to be physically present here. As much as he would have loved to be physically present here to witness this event, other very, very demanding matters of state has made it impossible for him to be here in person. He has therefore asked me to represent him in this event. Let me start by thanking the MD of the Nddc for the vision, our representative on the board for his knowledge of the challenges of our people, especially concerns the mandate of the Nddc. Let me thank the National Assembly, as represented by the chairman of the House Committee on Niger Delta, the indomitable Iriatake Ibori Suenu, for providing the budgetary allocations to fund this project. And let me also thank the chairman of the board for giving the policy guideline that has seen this stretch of the interstate road between Abraka and Oben being reconstructed. I had arrived at the venue of this program at about 5 minutes to 12 and was made to understand that the board had taken a decoy or a detour to pay homage to His Majesty. I therefore used the opportunity to drive around the entire stretch of the road to see what has been done. I am privileged to superintend over the Ministry of Works, Highways and Urban Roads in Delta State. And with my original background in engineering, I was looking for loopholes and pitfalls I would use to throw a jab at both the MD and the chairman. However, when I drove through the 9.8 kilometers and turned back, I say this with all modesty. I know they call the firm Webster Global Ventures. I say this without any form of equivocation, that within the limits of the bills of engineering measurement and evaluation and the bills of the quantities that were approved, say they did a very good job. And I must commend the company for their speed in actualizing this between the last rainy season and now. They've been able to actualize the completion of this project before the rains. And the second phase of the project that will be flagging off. This is the first time I will be visiting a project site that is about to be flagged off. And I drove from this spot down to Obiaruku, where they have already done a reasonable amount of work, and I think they've already laid the binding course in some sections. I got to Obiaruku to see their heavy equipment working to solve the problem of one of the most challenging spots. I am glad that when the Executive Director Project was making his speech, he made reference to those ecological challenges, those three spots that have remained unsolvable since I have known this road. I recall that one of the spots I was discussing with the Honorable Minister was one that was responsible for the death of one-time registrar of the Delta State University, Abraka. It was rehabilitated about a month after his death. It failed in less than 3 months, and it has been a sport that has continually failed. But I have been assured, having heard what the Executive Director Project said and what the Honorable Minister said, I have been assured that those areas will be given special attention such that what you are doing here will be a permanent solution. Having said that, let me once again re-emphasize that the government of Delta State believes very firmly and strongly that we are partners in progress with the federal government, ably led by no other than the President and Commander-in-Chief, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We believe that the success of the federal government, because of the nature of our constitution and the operators, the success of the federal government will naturally translate to the success of the states as well. His Excellency, therefore, wishes to commend His Excellency, Mr. President, for his support for this board of the Niger Delta Development Commission thus far, and urges him to continue to do more for the people of the Niger Delta. Having said that, let me now respond to the member of the board representing Delta State, the Right Honorable Monday Obigo Igbuya. The Delta State government has shown verifiably that it is indeed a partner in progress with the federal government. I recall vividly that Mr. Speaker, as he then was in 2015, approved funds for the rehabilitation of the Benin-Saple Road by the Delta State government. While he was Mr. Speaker, the Delta State government saw the need to intervene in the failed sections of the Benin-Warri Highway, particularly from Amukpe down to Efrun. And there was need for us to intervene at that time because passengers, commuters were spending years, forgive the embellishment, spending countless hours. At the time, it would take lorries as long as 4 days to travel from Benin to Warri. So it became necessary for the government of Delta State to intervene, but we didn't have the funding. The governor at that time simply requested Mr. Speaker at that time, the Right Honorable Monday Obigo Igbuya, for the House to make funding available, and he talked to us as colleagues and reminded us that we are partners in progress with the Buhari federal government at that time, and the funds were approved. And Delta State government rehabilitated that particular road under his watch. So to give the impression that we are leaving, Delta State government is leaving everything for Nddc is a fallacious misrepresentation, and I need to correct that here and now. Furthermore, Honorable Minister, sir, permit me to respectfully say that the magic you see on the Warri front, those bridges that are springing up as if you're watching science fiction, that part of the Warri front is a federal Trunk A road. It is a Trunk A road belonging to the federal government. We are intervening there to reduce travel time. The Ugele-Asaba dualization is about 180 kilometers. Honorable Minister, sir, I urge you, if you have some minutes to spare in this hospitable land of ours called Delta, to take a drive from Ugele today and drive from Ugele to Asaba and see the wonderful intervention of the Delta State government on a federal highway. Your Excellency, the Honorable Minister, this road that you have come here to flag off, I can tell you for free that we have intervened severally on this road. Therefore, it is my appeal to our member representing us on the board, while we appeal for more from the board, because the board is very large and there are many states that constitute your board. While we appeal for more, we should also tell our chairman, our MD, and of course the Honorable Minister that the Delta State government is doing very well in terms of critical infrastructure in Delta State, as has been affirmed by the This Day newspapers and Arise TV, and of course the Telegraph newspapers that awarded His Excellency Right Honorable Jerry Francis Oruwedo Oberowori the best governor of the year 2024 in infrastructure. These are verifiable facts. Honorable Minister, I don't know if the Nddc mobilizes its contractors with 40%. Today, in Delta State, we mobilize our own contractors with 40% so that they will not suffer from the vagaries of inflation. Having said that, let me wrap up my speech by thanking Mr. President for once again showing that he has a knack for picking.
Honorable Oborewori, who is here represented by the Commissioner for works and bridges in the person of Honorable Izeze. Let me also recognize the presence of the honorable member representing this very constituency, coincidentally, the chairman of the House Committee on Niger Delta and our head Toraj, where you have Honorable Jafaru. Let me also recognize the presence of the chairman of the Nddc, Barrister Chedu Ebe. Also to be recognized is the managing director of Nddc, Dr. Sam Ogboku, PhD. Let me also recognize all other members of the board of Nddc, including the executive director of project, who has just put us through on what Nddc has been doing in this area and other parts of the region. Also to be recognized is the galaxy of traditional rulers that I've seen here, and also the representative of the OVA of Abraka that we have just visited his domain. Let me also welcome our teaming mothers, youth, and fathers that are here to witness what is going on today. We also recognize the presence of the contractor, who also did a lot of work on this road. Today, I want to say I'm very, very glad to witness the commissioning ceremony of this very project. Let me recall that sometime last year, when I started tour of the Niger Delta region, one of the roads that we visited, and we visited this road through the bypass in Benin. And incidentally, the managing director of Nddc and executive directors happened to be with us on that very day. And then I made it clear to him that this road had been under the supervision of the Ministry of Niger Delta, and to some extent, the RCC had done some work, and we need to through the road to Abraka. I also charged it on him that he should do his best. By the time I returned, I briefed Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, of my findings in Niger Delta, and this is one of the roads that I measured to him. And I know his reply. The president said, well, if you don't have money in your ministry, you have Nddc to intervene. And I quickly called on the MD, and I told him that that very road must be given immediate attention. Not necessarily because it's a road connecting Edo and Delta, which of course, you know I'm from Delta, but for the simple reason that at that point in time, it was pretty difficult to pass through Benin, through Sapele, to Warri. And we felt that by the time the Abraka Oben to Benin bypass was made through, it will ease the transport problem in this very area. So I'm glad today that section 1 of the road has been completed, which is from here to Oben. And you know that Oben is one of the major oil producing area in Nigeria, producing the highest quality and the highest quantity of gas in Nigeria today. So for a community like that and some others, they get the benefit of government. And that is what we are reaping today. And what we are seeing here today is Renew Hope agenda that is working. So we have to thank Mr. President for giving a team that is working very hard to actualize his vision. I'm happy to also hear from the MD, because as we were talking, I also said that all of this will not be a complete work if between here and Agbo, we cannot access the road. Because there was a time I was coming from Auchi through Agbo to Abraka. It became very difficult because along this road, like the chairman said, there are so many bad portions that you hardly can pass through. Ditto for Agbo Uromi Junction, and along that main alignment through to Uromi. And all of these areas, they require a reconstruction, just as has been done between Abraka, Oben roads. So I do hope, with the promise made by the MD, in a very short time, we also get to witness the commissioning of the reconstructed portions of this road. And like I said when I started, my invitation here today is that I'm to commission Abraka to Oben, and also to flag off the reconstruction of the bad spot between Abraka to Agbo. That, of course, we are going to do in a very short time. But I have to charge the MD and his team to look into the Agbo Uromi in a very short time. And also, the remaining portion of Oben up to Uronigbe Junction, that has to be completed in a very short time, so that moving from here to Benin, in a matter of 30 minutes, you're already there. I happen to hear today, directing the chairman house committee, that since he was coming from Benin, it will be better, much easier for her to pass through this newly constructed road. But by that time, she has gone through Saple Road before he came here, which was, in fact, it's a very long journey. Let me, at this junction again, thank all those officers of government who have made it possible for Nddc to operate, ranging from the executive to the National Assembly. Of course, today we have Uncommon Senate President, who is ever ready to approve whatever the Nddc demands. And I'm happy to hear from the MD and all those who have spoken earlier of the necessary cooperation they have received from the National Assembly, that is, the Senate and the House of Representatives. So I wish to appeal to them to continue to support the Nddc and, by extension, other regional development commissions that are about to commence operation in a very short time. And also to use this opportunity to appeal strongly to our brothers and sisters in the National Assembly, always give speedy consideration and release of Nddc budget so that they can take off on time as soon as the budget is put in place. And also, two, let me call on other regional development commissions that are about to start operation. That first, they have to take a look at the very positive aspects of Nddc. We have heard a number of stories in the past about Nddc not doing this, Nddc not doing that. And because of the stories we heard about Nddc, that is the more reason when we took over the supervision, we made it clear to them what Mr. President directed must be done. And in fact, the first meeting I had with the president is that there are quite a number of projects scattered all over the Niger Delta region, that those projects need to be completed. And of course, when the committee the management committee of Nddc and the board was inaugurated, that was the very first task I gave them. And secondly, too, the very positive aspect I've also seen in Nddc is the harmonious relationship with which the management team and the board have been working. It is a perfect one, and that is the more reason why today we can see development here and there. In the past, the board of Nddc does not even last longer than 6 months. Both the MD and the chairman and the board member, they'll be fighting for one thing or the other. And once that will happen, it is the people that suffer. Because when the management board and the and the board itself, they start quarreling, there will be no concentration. At the end of the day, the board will be sacked. The next thing you hear of caretaker committee or sole administrator, and all these are aberrations. They are not known to the law of NDDC. So I think with what has happened today in NDDC, resulting to performance, I wish to call on other regional development that will soon start operation to emulate NDDC in this regard, and in also the aspect of project delivery, which we can see all over the Niger Delta region. I think yesterday, when I gave them the achievement of NDDC in my press briefing, this road we are going to commission now was not even one of them. I know they did that because they feel that the road has not come on board. And I also noticed that quite a number of projects I happen to know about that have been commissioned by NDDC were not also there. So that is why I want to say that for the chairman of NDDC to say that this is the first road that is being commissioned here in Delta State is right. But in all other states, I know we have commissioned quite a number of gigantic projects, such as Oben, Nebe Road, the bridge, Ataba Bridge in Akwa Ibom, the Okitikwukwa Electricity Project, and Ipoba Oka Substation, and a host number of them. And I'll be told again by the MD that a number of other projects have been lined up for commissioning in a very short time. So once again, I have to commend the efforts of the management and the board of NDDC for what they are doing for the people of Niger Delta. Once again, I say this is Renew Hope agenda working, and all they are is in tandem with the directives of Mr. President, who from time to time has always requested to know from me how the NDDC and their team members are faring. So I think with this, I want to also thank and commend the representative of the governor of Delta State, who has just measured now all that they've been doing in the past and called the NDDC. And I'm happy that he has given a pass mark to NDDC, both the quality of work that has been done and the set of people that are managing the NDDC today. But I want to make it clear, like every other person has said, and not only to a Delta State government, but to the entire governors in the country, see NDDC and other regional commissions as partners in progress, but not competitors. That is the reason, even in our briefing to the Regional Development Commission, we have asked them to focus mainly on those projects that can give name, they have the semblance of regional input, so that when you have a mega project that is regional in nature, then you will appreciate it better. For instance, this road now is a road connecting various states. From this very road, you will be able to access the west and the other areas of Edo State. And by the time the other development commissions start operation, we'll be looking forward to partnership between two regional development commissions. There's nothing stopping the NDDC, and perhaps by the time the South-South Development Commission comes aboard, to partner with the Southeast Development Commission to come up with mega projects. There's nothing stopping NDDC with South-South Development Commission to partner with South-South, ditto for those in the northern region. So this is what we are expecting to drive the development needs of the country. Once again, I have to thank you and commend your efforts, and by the special grace of God, we are now going to commission the project by first unveiling the plaque. Thank you very much for this opportunity to talk with you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister for Regional Development, and for all of your support so far. Thank you. Just as the Honorable Minister has said, we will now move to the site for the unveiling. Thereafter, we'll come back here to round up the activity. The Honorable Minister has been joined by His Excellency's representative, of course, the chairman, MD, EDs, directors of the NDDC, the chairman representing NDDC board, a House of Reps member, a woman of the people indeed, the chairman of the NDDC board of the House, as the deputy, and all people of goodwill. As this landmark project that links not just communities but states.
Unmute the mic. Please unmute the mic. Unmute.
Open the volume.
Are we are going to commission the yes. Okay. It's on. Just stop. Hello. In the name of Almighty Allah, I wish to commission this very important infrastructure for the use of the people of Delta State, Edo State, and all other persons that will be put. In the name of Almighty Allah, I hereby commission this very project, and also to thank those who made it possible and pray that they do more for the people of Niger Delta region. Niger Delta Development Commission, the reconstruction of Abraka Oben Road, Phase 1, Etiop East Local Government, Delta State, and Orion 1 Local Government in Edo State, constructed by Niger Delta Development Commission and commissioned by Engineer Abraka Momo, Honorable Minister, Ministry of Regional Development, on 22nd February 2025. To God be the glory. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Minister. Thank you.
You're watching Arise, the world's standout news channel. Arise News, awards, and beyond.